Alright, hi everybody. I actually feel okay enough to do a Lolita vlog today, and I'm not sure how long this is gonna be, but right as all the mayhem started and I went on my social media blackout, somebody asked a very simple question. And I was hoping they would elaborate because I wasn't exactly sure um how to answer their question, but the simple question was, is it safe to wear Lolita? And I was like, is it safe to? I thought she was asking, was it safe to order from a specific place? And I think she was asking, is it safe to walk outside like this? And I have talked about a lot of times on this channel that when you go outside, out of the comfort and sanctity of your home, this is a lot for people to see, and most people are kind of going to be like, the fuck. So I wanted to kind of discuss being safe, staying safe, and the like, basically, for Lolita. Now, admittedly, I have not done a correct ton of research for this particular topic today. I pretty much looked up safety tips, and I looked up tips of things that you possibly can do if people randomly take your picture, because that's another thing. And unfortunately, with that one, that did not have a good in search result. So let me start by saying that you have a right to wear whatever it is you want to wear. I don't give a shit what it is, even if I disagree with it on a moral standpoint. Last year, was it 2 years ago now? It was something like, I think it was last year. I covered military Lolita, and I asked the question: is it fashionably frilly or is it fascist fuckery? And on a personal level, you can wear whatever you want. For me, for at least in my universe, you can wear whatever you want. I don't care what that is. If it's offensive, just be prepared to answer for it when somebody inevitably fucking calls you out on it. I don't think Lolita is offensive. It's not, for the most part. Like I said, it gets a little hairy when you're discussing military Lolita. But on the whole, as a whole, what I'm wearing right now is completely inoffensive. It's just something that if I stepped outside the boundaries of the courtyard, and we live off of a busy road in this little tiny village, everybody's going to stop and be like, the fuck? Or I know what the German word for the fuck is. Well, not the fuck, but frick. Like, basically, people will be like, what the hell is happening? I don't know what's happening. And I realized, for me, I haven't been wearing a lot of Lolita since I moved to Germany, because I don't speak German enough to, if somebody inevitably asks me, what are you doing? What is your life about? I can't properly answer the question because I don't have enough knowledge of the language to be like, oh, this is a Japanese fashion, it's real cute, and I look cute, so thank you for admiring my adorableness right now. So that's why I haven't really been wearing Lolita while I live in Germany. But as a whole, when I'm in the US, I wear Lolita anywhere that I feel needs a bright, shiny moment. I have worn Lolita, of course, at meetups, of course, at anime conventions, but I have dared to venture to walk around a solo fucking Lolita in a mall. And people are gonna make comments, people are gonna say shit, and this is where I have to tell you, you need to not be a shrinking violet. So now let's thoroughly get in, now that I've kind of given you like a little taste. So, what I mean by a shrinking violet: a lot of very new Lolitas, who I am assuming are very young Lolitas, they often are worried about how they will be perceived in public as they're wearing Lolita. And people are gonna say, tell you you're very cute, but you have to, at the same token, be kind of comfortable with strangers approaching you. And that can be a lot, especially when you are new to the fashion and you are new to the whole thing. It is adorable, but people are going to walk up to you and they're going to have a lot to say. They're going to have a lot of shit to say. 9 times out of 10, it will not be negative. I will just go on a limb and say that. 9 times out of 10, it will not be negative. Occasionally, it'll be a little gross. You'll get like the odd random pervo that has all kinds of gross sexual shit going on upstairs that they think is completely appropriate to approach a random person on the block minding their own damn business to say something gross. But you can simply, you don't have to answer any of that stuff. You really don't. If you're not interested, or if they're just too much to handle and it's just going a bridge too damn far, you are free to walk away from them. You don't have to answer anything that anybody says. You can just walk away. And if they're like, hey, and they're making you feel uncomfortable, walk into a public place and then stay in that public place until that person kindly fucks off and does their own thing. You, especially to my younger frilly devotees, I know, like, you don't want to seem rude, but if somebody's coming up to you rude, you don't have to engage with it. You are under zero obligation to engage with somebody who is basically treating you like a sex object. So no, you don't have to put up with that shit. I don't recommend that you put up with that shit. You can walk away and walk into, like, if you're like near like a Starbucks or something, or a public building, even if it's an office building, just fucking walk in and tell the security people, like, hey, this person out here is being gross, and no. And if they're decent human beings, which they should fucking be, then they'll at least let you stay in the lobby until the guy goes away, or they might call the police or something. But you are not under any obligation to engage with somebody that is making you feel uncomfortable in approaching you with all kinds of gross, salacious bullshit. So please don't ever feel like, well, if I walk away, they're gonna get angry. They probably are gonna get angry, but you have a right and a duty to protect yourself first. You fuck what that person is trying to tell you. Like, if they're coming up to you all gross, you know that's a situation that has a high potentiality to not end well for you anyway. So why do you care about their feelings? You should be caring about your safety. So that's the first and foremost thing. So, but for the most part, people are going to be surprised, like, what is happening? But for the most part, most people are just going to stare and just be like, what? And I hate this, unfortunately. They may take pictures, unsolicited pictures of you, and you do have the right to tell them, you do not have my permission to take my picture. Can you please delete that off your phone? If you are feeling so emboldened. This was the one that did not end well when I looked up what to do if somebody takes your picture unsolicited. There's rules if somebody takes your picture unsolicited and you're in like a dressing room at a store, or a changing room in like a gym or like a swimming pool or whatever. There are rules specifically regarding that, but there's no specific rule regarding if you are existing in a space, be it in a frilly dress or what the fuck ever you have on. There's unfortunately no rule that people can't take pictures of you. So you can take, the one thing of advice was you could take the picture of the offending party if you catch them, or you can politely ask them to delete the picture. And if you want a picture without having to be a creep about it, you can always ask. So nobody's image, I don't care if you're famous or not, nobody has the right to your image. If you don't want your image out there, I don't give a shit what you're wearing. If you have a right to privacy as an individual. And I know the argument would be made, well, you're dressed all weird. Like, so what? If you're not gonna pay attention to me if I'm wearing like jeans and like a t-shirt, like a pair of jeans and my damn Wesker t-shirt, why should it matter that I'm wearing a frilly dress? What is the difference? It's just clothes. Why are you all like, your mind is all blasted? I don't get it. But that's the only one that didn't really have a happy ending for things that you can do. If somebody takes your picture and you don't like it, those are like the only two options that I saw. I am not familiar with how it is in the EU. I should be familiar how it is in the EU, but I've omitted to look for that, and I should have looked for that. But if you live in the European Union, or you live in the UK, or you live anywhere else on the planet where there are specific rules regarding how to deal with unsolicited picture taking, please let me know, because that's information that I think everyone will benefit from, and I think it's something everybody should know. You should know the rules in your locality, so that way everybody can feel a little more safe, because you are very much putting yourself way out there when you wear Lolita. You are leaving yourself vulnerable, and I get it. It's a lot. I am not going to sit here and tell you that dressing like this is not a lot. I will also tell you at the same token, dressing like this is the best fucking time you can humanly possibly have. But it does come with a heaping sack of bullshit and fuckery. And I want everybody to engage, everybody who wants to engage in this fashion, I want you to engage in this fashion. And I want you to feel comfortable engaging in this fashion. And I want you to be safe while engaging in this fashion. So, let's just say there's a meetup in your local town, and you're finally like, I'm going to go for it. I'm going to put on my nicest Lolita dress. I'm going to put on my cutest shoes, my nicest like socks and or tights, and I in my most adorable blouse, and I'm going to rock it, and we're going to do this thing. Okay, so how are you going to stay safe once you leave the comfort and stability of your home? Now, there's a few things we can do. So, my thing, and what I'm about to read to you does echo this. My thing is always be aware of your surroundings. You should be aware of your surroundings anyway, but always be aware of who and what is around you, because you never know what somebody's doing. I'm not saying you got to be like looking under shit and like moving shit all around, but just take a look around when you're outside to like see what's going on around you. So, because you never know, like you never know when something, as they say, might pop off. And again, you want to be safe. So always be aware of who and what is around you. And if need be, especially the what is around you, because you never know when you need to run into a store. You never know when you need to like, do something to go that extra distance of doing something safe. So always be aware of who and what is around you. And that's just a general life thing that you should know. So, okay. Now, what this is like Security Today, their article from April 4th, 2012. This was a minute ago. So, this was 10 years ago. Follow your general safety tips. Follow your intuition. Trust your feelings. If you feel that a situation is not right, move out of the situation. I cannot stress to you how important it is to listen to your inner monologue. If something is in you is telling you, oh shit, it's not, even if it's just like real quick, listen to that instinct. Your intuition knows better than you do. Don't stuff it down. Don't be like, I'm making a mountain out of a molehill. If something don't feel right, it ain't right. Primary example, and this is the worst example I have. So this didn't happen going to a Lolita meetup. This happened when I was walking home from school when I was in the 7th grade. So I'm walking home. It's the day before Halloween, which was known back in the day as Mischief Night. I'm walking home. For whatever reason, we had a substitute teacher, and the substitute teacher actually let us out early. He let us out of class like 20 minutes early. And I was so grateful because mischief night was always bad. Like kids would be fighting and it'd just be all this mayhem and calamity. So basically, he let us out 20 minutes early and I got down. It was a long walk, but I got down to where I was, where these two gas stations were across the street from each other. And there was a shootout. But before I got to where the shootout was, like while I was walking, I started feeling really like something wasn't right. But there was nowhere else for me to go. There was no other direction I could have taken. So I just kept walking, and the more I walked, the worse that dread of just like, oh fuck, something bad is happening and I don't know what to do. And there was nothing I really could do because, like I said, this was the only way I could walk home. So I get to where the gas station is. They're actually shooting. I actually remember what this dude looks like who was shooting, and it was terrifying because he literally shot past me. How I didn't get hit, I don't fucking know, but yeah. So listen to your inner monologue. Unfortunately for me, that happened and it was bad, but thankfully I survived it. And on top of that, there was nowhere else I could go. I was like down by an arboretum and I didn't want to go into the gas station. It was just best for me to run across the street, and that's what I did. I ran across the other street to where the other gas station was and ran basically home from that. That is a worst case scenario, an absolute complete worst case scenario. But listen to your inner monologue because that will save your damn life. And always have an alternate plan of escape should something, as they say, pop off. So be aware of your surroundings in social situations. Be alert to places and situations that may make you vulnerable. Exactly. Always walk confidently and alertly. This is the thing where I'm like, you cannot do this. You cannot be in this fashion if you do not have a confident temperament. Because in all seriousness, people kind of will be like, oh, well, damn, they're walking with confidence. They're like, oh my God, they like got their shit together. Even if you don't have your shit together, walk like you have your shit together. Walk like people owe you money. Like you own motherfuckers. Just walk with confidence. Because 9 times out of 10, if you're walking and you're like, oh no, somebody gonna fuck with you because you look like you're able to be fucked with. You walk around like bitch, don't you owe me money, motherfucker? Yeah, I do. I'm going to slink off this way. I'm not saying you got to be arrogant, but walk with purpose, as my mother would tell me, and to walk like some bitches owe you money. Cause seriously, people are gonna be less likely to fuck with you if you look like you got my problem, motherfucker. Like, nope, be straight. So I'm not saying not be arrogant. There is a thin line, but walk with confidence because people are way less likely to fuck with you when you are confident in your shit. So, all right. Be aware that walking at night, alone at night, it could be a situation. Most Lolita meetups do not take place at night, thankfully, so that doesn't apply to us. But I will tell you, you ladies and ladles and jelly spoons, if you are, and this is not even for Lolita, this is a general situation, this is some shit I figured out on my own. If you are walking at night, do not wear earbuds because you just setting your shit up. And if you must listen to something, have it in one ear and one other ear free so you can hear what the fuck is going on around you. So, but if you're walking around at night, what you can do, stay in an area that's well lit because you're going to be wanting to look into the into the windows of cars as you walk, because that's how you can tell somebody's following you. If somebody's behind you, look at the reflection in the light in the cars windows, and figure out how you're going to deal with that situation. 9 times out of 10, it's just somebody walking. But if somebody's following you, then start making alternate plans and never go directly home if somebody's following you. Because if it's a stranger and they're following you and you go directly home and you know you've been followed, that means they fucking know where you live now. So don't do that. Honestly, if if it's a situation where you're walking, just walk to somewhere else, walk to a public place where you know there's going to be some people, or walk to a neighbor that you trust's house. So that way, unfortunately, they kind of know of where you live, but they don't have an exact address. Just be careful, but look in the windows of cars just to make sure nobody's following you. It's just something I figured out on my own. So, but most Lolita meetups take place during the day. Very rarely are Lolitas out at night. So every now and then there might be a grown-up meetup that's like at night, but most of the time our meetups end at like at the latest 6. So if you're being followed, if you see people that make you uncomfortable, walk in another direction, cross the street, but stay, or ask other people if you may walk with them for a short distance. So that's a good tip. Carry your keys. Hold on. When walking near the car to your home or apartment, carry your keys in your hands. Don't stand in the doorway and mess with a purse. Yeah, just have your keys out ready to I'm not saying you got to do the thing where you had a key sticking out like that and you can jab somebody, but if you want to do that, feel free. But yeah, so always dress so movement is not restricted. I don't know. Can you fight in Lolita? I would not recommend fighting in Lolita because this stuff be costing cash, and if somebody risk my Lolita in a fight. I don't know. That I'm definitely going to jail. I'm definitely going to jail. Guaranteed going to jail. But independent of that, you should be able, if you have to look, your life is important. Your life is worth saving. Fight as hard as you can. But especially they fuck up your brand. That's somebody not walking away from that, and it damn sure ain't gonna be me. So there is that. While waiting for public transportation, keep your back against the wall or pole so you cannot be surprised from behind. I don't know about a pole, because the only thing I can see is somebody comes up behind you from behind the pole and starts choking you. I don't know what you do with that situation, but if you're in like a bus shelter, because a lot of the buses around here, because there's a bus stop across the street from my house and then one kind of in front of where we live. So the one across the street is an actual shelter. So I would stand in the shelter, but it doesn't have a wall. Some of the ones in Philadelphia have walls, like glass walls. So if you want to stand behind near the glass wall, that's fine. But I don't know what you do when you don't have like a bus shelter. I don't recommend a pole. That does not seem safe to me, but I get the spirit of what they're saying. Pick out places you consider safer places where you can either make a stand or reassure yourself that you are not being followed or watched. Porches, bus stops, stores, blah, blah, blah. So I can agree with that. Know your routes, notice lighting, notice alleyways, abandoned buildings, street people, which I'm assuming they mean the unhoused. That's a whole other situation for another day. But yeah, if you're wearing Lolita, this is not the time. Like, oh, I'm gonna go down this sketchy ass back alley today. Oh, I'm gonna take this shortcut through like all this fucked upness. That is not the time to test out a new route coming and going to your house. Just take the normal way you would go, preferably away with a bunch of people, and don't take the sketchy back alley that day. I mean, we're trying to be safe here and not trying to make bad choices. So this is not the time to be going down. Let's go there. Let's have a tea party down this sketchy drug alley. That'll down crack lane. That's gonna work out great. No, do the right things and make good choices. So I know that the alley that is crack lane seems like some fun shit to do, but it's nothing going on down crack lane except they're filming OnlyFans shit. You don't want to go down there today. So again, I don't mean to make anybody feel nervous or apprehensive or prevent them from wearing Lolita, because I have been doing this. Literally, this year is my 20th damn year wearing Lolita. And I've had people giggle at me, which fuck that guy. I hope he gets that difficult to treat gonorrhea. Yeah, I said it. So that super clap that's going on. I hope that guy catches super clap and it's impossible to treat. Fuck that dude. But I've had people giggle at me. I've had bitches say shit. And it's just like, as long as nobody puts their hands on you, you're fine. This is completely a safe hobby to engage with. You are going to be, I'm not going to say you are, it's not a guarantee. You might come across situations where people are going to say gross shit or giggle or have a fucking comment. You don't have to engage in any of that shit. You have an obligation to keep yourself safe, and I gave you some tools to keep yourself a little bit safe, but as a whole, you are not obligated to engage with any of these fucked up dumbass people out here that has fucked up dumbass shit to say. I want you to enjoy this, because how many times have I said there's more than enough misery on this planet to go around, that this should be the one thing where you can cut loose and have fun. And if you're not having fun being a Lolita, please don't do it. It's not worth it. If this is going to be something that's going to drive you to a panic attack, please don't engage in the fashion. Or if you're going to engage in the fashion, engage in it in the sanctity of your home. You can be an indoor Lolita. Like here in Germany, I am an indoor Lolita. I do not go out wearing Lolita. I just don't feel comfortable because I don't have a good enough grasp of the language to be able to tell people what the hell I'm doing. So that is why presently I am an indoor Lolita. But when I'm in the United States, fuck that. I am an outdoor fucking Lolita, and I will be outdoors having fun with the rest of my frilly compatriots. Or if I can't find any of them chicks, I'm gonna be out in Lolita, and people just be like, what the fuck is this bitch problem? And it's like, wouldn't you like to know? Fuck you. And that's just how it goes. But I am a different kind of animal. I give zero fucks. There are days I just give, like, guess how many fucks I have opening up my wallet? None. How about that? So that's the kind of Lolita I want you all to be. The ones that give zero fucks. So I hope this helps. I hope this answered this young lady's question. Yes, it's safe, please. But if you don't feel comfortable, indoor Lolita. I am presently an indoor Lolita. I am going to stay an indoor Lolita as long as I live in Germany. So there's nothing wrong with being an indoor Lolita. And there's nothing wrong with being an outdoor Lolita. It just depends on your comfort level. But is it safe? Yes. Should you always be mindful of your surroundings? Yes. Should you do everything in your power to keep yourself safe? Yes. Is that acceptable? Hell yes. So the TLDR to all of that. So yeah, I know. I should have put up, like, you see I'm in this back alley. Didn't I just say we can't be down the back alley? This is my back alley look for shit. It's because I was being lazy and I didn't feel like putting the other background up. So we were talking about safety, so figured back alley look is the look to have. So, but that is all I have, and I hope all of this made sense, because I really didn't have like a script or whatever, not that I ever do, but I didn't have a script or anything ready for this, and I just really wanted to discuss the safety, because I know it can be a concern, especially for my younger frilly devotees. I don't ever want anybody to put themselves in a situation where they don't feel comfortable or they don't feel safe. You are very vulnerable going outside in Lolita, and I get that, and I understand that, and I do not begrudge anybody who can't handle it. It's a lot. It's a fashion that's a lot. So again, there's nothing wrong with being an indoor Lolita, but if you're going to engage outside of the safety of your home, please be safe doing so. So that is all I have, and it's almost half an hour, and y'all know I don't edit shit. So I'm gonna get the fuck out of here, because there's things that I have to do, and that's just what's gonna happen. So until next time, later.